What's up, soul family and my baddies? I'm coming to you with another self-defense type of issue whenever you encounter certain situations. This particular topic I'm talking about when you're dealing with a situation where you are two things. One, if you're dealing with someone who is not open about their sexuality and you are in a full-fledged relationship with opposite sex and they're not being open. In most cases, women are scorned by this when you are dealing with a down low man. When you are dealing with a down low man, please believe that if this person is begging you to stay, putting you all this havoc, and the whole time they don't even like you and they treat you like shit, I'm just being honest, then you have to do something about it. Now, they don't have real actual laws that speaks against those things, but we must talk about this because it can put you at risk for HIV or any other terminal illness that can cause complete torment in the mind where you have to live with that. So let's talk about it. This particular thing, I really honestly feel that it should be a law where a woman should be able to get off freely. Because I've seen this on ID where women actually have to do a life sentence simply because she probably was dealing with someone who put her at risk, not only to get killed by the person that they were sleeping with or put her at risk for HIV. These are things that we need to discuss and we need to talk about because it is absolutely wrong that these women have to go through that and still have to do a life sentence or plus because they're dealing with someone who's down low. So anytime that you're dealing with something like that, like I said, I do not promote anybody to sit there and kill somebody or hurt someone in that way, but I am a firm believer that a person should pay for that, honestly. And with that being said, like if you are dealing with that type of situation, you must take action. I feel like most people, and I feel like that law need to be established because if we are going out our way to make sure that our men are well taken care of, it is not fair for a man to live his life in that way. Now, don't get me wrong. Now they do have places where these people can get help, or they should be a little bit more open about their sexuality. Now, this is my thing, this is my personal opinion. If that's what you like and you like the same sex, then you need to be open about it. But to put a woman through that where she's being abused, manipulated, used in some form of fashion, and you don't even like her, you don't even care for what she got between her legs. You don't care about who she is as a person. You can't stand that she's dominant or, for a lack of a better term, more independent than you are. Then you need to be real with yourself. I'm just being real. You need to be real with yourself about the situation instead of putting her, or if she have a child, putting her child through so many things. Because this is what goes on in my mind. If you are down low about your sexuality, you may be down low with a whole lot of things. You are a predator at this point. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're willing to hide that particular thing about yourself, there's no telling what else you're hiding. Which goes into my next thing, number 2. If you are a woman and you're dealing with somebody who has this thing where they mess with little kids and stuff like that, me, honestly, I do not feel like a woman should do any time if she has to defend her child. That is a ripple effect. If you touch somebody's child, she should have the right to off you. She should. The court system is not moving fast enough. Because if you touch that child has to live with that for the rest of their life. They'll have to deal with their own self. They have to deal with being self-conscious. They got to deal with their self-esteem. And then when they get older, it's no telling how what you do to them as a child, in other words, how you love them as a child, or how that person have been loved, or what they consider love, they will do that to somebody else's child. That's a ripple effect. Okay? I'm a firm believer of if you are a mother and you stay silent about those type of things and you don't do anything about it, then you are just as guilty as the person is doing it. Real talk, man or woman. If you doing all of that stuff to a child, that means you don't give a fuck. And that's just real. Okay? And take it how you want to take it. And I'm just being real about the situation. But I feel like if that child have to go through silence, they don't know how, they can't learn correct. That child will not be able to develop correctly. They will not understand what love is. They won't even know how to have or develop some form of social skills because they don't understand the difference. Now, I'm not knocking the LGBTQ community or anything like that. If that was a choice that you made based off your choice, then that's something different. But if you are a person who is going through that because of the fact that something that happened when you was a child, then honestly, I feel like that mother should have did something about it. Now, me as a mother, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? I'm 5'2". And I feel like anybody who's at who 6 foot something, 7 foot something, or even close to 6 foot something, I'm breaking the hammer off in your head. I'm that serious. So I honestly feel like as a mother, you should be able to protect your child at all costs, no matter what. You got to be able to protect your child's innocence. If a mother have to go to jail based off what happened, when she treats her child, or how she feeds her child, or whatever the case may be, I honestly feel like off the bat, no questions asked, if a child has been touched, that child should be open enough to be able to talk to their parent, and the parent do something about it. The reason why, especially in my generation, why we go through so much and we fighting a lot of demons is because we speak on these things and nobody does anything about it. And the first thing y'all want to do is blame that person. That is so irresponsible. That's an irresponsible way of thinking, because now it's a ripple effect. Who's to say that when they have kids, their child is in good hands? Who's to say when they keep your child, that child is in good hands? That's what I'm talking about. People may take it the way they want to take it. I've been blessed to overcome those things, but all it did was made me an overly protective parent, where it's hard for me to detach from my child and just leave my child anywhere, because I don't play about mine. I do not play about mine, because those thoughts repetitively play in that mind of a mother because they once was a child. Now, I'm not saying this to condone any type of violence or anything like that, but if you're condoning sexual abuse to a child, or you condoning the fact that that person is hiding their sexuality, putting that woman or that child, depending on what level of a predator that they are, to put that child in harm's way, or that parent in harm's way, mentally, physically, all of that. If you're willing to go that far, and this is, the parent is just as responsible as the person is doing it if they're not speaking up. You are guilty by association because you did not speak up. And if you're a type of person that sits there and not say anything, and then gonna try to blame the person that did speak something, then guess what? You're guilty by association too, because you did not do anything about it. Because now this woman got to live with that. If she do speak up with it. Now this child got to live through it. Now they got to grow up. They got to be around other kids. And that's not fair. That's not fair. You done already took this child life away. You done stole this woman health away. You done stole her way of being away. You done took that from her. You a thief. You may not physically took anything from her, but you still stole something. You stole her peace. And when you take a child's innocence away, now this child is already sexual before they even know what the hell sex is. Come on now. Now they want to try with other kids that don't know anything about sex. It's a ripple effect. That's breaking the laws of harmony. That's a ripple effect. Another thing I want to be clear on is the fact that once you know these things about certain people, whether it's a parent, whether it's a family member or anything, once you know these things about these people, man, leave these folks alone. Don't go back. Don't turn back. Don't put your child through that. No, nothing. You go get you some help. Get that child some help. Because they got to live with that. Now, if you one of them blended families and you have gotten word or you got acknowledgement of those type of things, then guess what? Leave. They're not doing anything about it. They okay with it. Leave and don't turn back around. And if that parent decide they want to come to your doorstep talking about, oh, I love you, fuck love. You did nothing to protect your seed. You spoke on nothing. Fuck how it make them feel. It should have made them feel worse for allowing that type of shit to happen with their child. Now, I gotta breathe. Because when it come down to babies, when it come down to children, I be ready to. Oh, Lord. Because that's a touchy topic. And I'm telling you, in this generation that we're in, especially if you are in astrology and your Pluto is in Scorpio, you are definitely have been encountering some form of neglect, abuse, sexual abuse, child abuse, anything. You have encountered that in some form or fashion, abandonment, whatever. And it has to come to a stop. Because in order to embrace love, you got to release the things that hinder you from love. And staying silent about it ain't going to help the situation. It's just going to make it worse. And trust and believe. Any other real mother will whoop your ass about your child. So, especially when that type of stuff go on, that ain't nothing to play with. And I'm speaking to the fathers as well. If you know you're encountering some type of situation where your child is in danger, you need to speak on it. You need to do something. You need to get that child some help. If you got something going on where you know you got to retreat from certain things in your life, if you're a person who like to party, maybe you need to slack up on partying. If you're a type of person that smoke weed, maybe you need to slack up on the smoking the weed. But you need to do something to get your baby. Because enough is enough. I'm just going to leave it like that. I hope that this message get to y'all. I want y'all to stay healthy, stay blessed, stay humble, but most of all, peace.